But I think isn't the true ultimate purpose of the Pleiadians and all of their experiments the balancing between spiritual growth and technological growth?
Yes, and it's an evolutionary program from the Pleiades. They place within their star seed and their children the opportunities for advancement, for balance between the people and the planet. That is the whole agenda.
So that we don't repeat, become Atlantis again.
That's right.
And the codes that these star children carry can be tracked in their natal astrological chart by the way of the galactic degrees 25, 26, 27. Right. So if a person has a planet, any planet, even house cusps at the galactic degrees of Scorpio and Taurus, they are coded for Pleiadian agenda.
A person can be born with these markings and not be starseed. I must tell you that not everyone, but it is a way of tracking most of them. See, the bloodline and the soul records and the astrological markings, that makes a combination of Trinity for the starseed experiments. It isn't so much just the date and time. However, I've really not known of any that had that birth date that didn't have some connection to some kind of starseed operation, because the whole planet is a starseed operation of some sort.
I just got the image that the Pleiadian experimental starseed, there's different levels, whether you're like a private or a general, and all the levels in between.
That's right.
And while there may be many people with those codings in their astrological chart, they may not be a lead actor, so to speak, and might not be consciously aware.
You know, it's all about holding a certain amount of life force and light. Some are just brighter than others. That's why in the movies they call them movie stars. The people that have what they call it, when the it walks in the room, that this energy around a person, it's because they're holding a life force and a light and an energy that for some reason is activated to more people than others, and will be. It's almost like a calling card that's given to some people that are born here to actually be ambassadors for the starseed programs, and that's why a lot of celebrities are truly starseeds. And I would say that in the celebrity world, however, the positive and the negative goes with both.
Well, I know from my own research and also guidance and information from you that the more star markings you have doesn't make you smarter or better. It simply gives you more of that charisma, that magnetism, where people they pay attention to you.
Yeah, it's a galactic magnetism.
And case in point, of all the celebrity charts that I've looked at, the two people that had the very most number of star marking points in their natal chart were Elvis and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And
that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yet, like Galileo and Leonardo da Vinci, they had respectively maybe 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So it doesn't really mean, it's not correlated to genius as much as it's correlated to energy and magnetism and charisma and effectiveness.
It's like baking a cake. It's like when all the ingredients come together
in the right balance.
In the right balance, then you have a voila,
So you
have the blood, the genetics, the soul records, that special something. And it all comes together, and then pretty soon you have an Elvis, or a Johnny Depp, or someone that not only is a wonderful person on screen, but a wonderful person in life.
And I know, and it can go both ways, because sometimes when you have that much energy, if you don't have the integrity to use it correctly and wisely, you can go awry and get so full of yourself that you can not be using your power for good.
True. The other thing I wanted to say about the Pleiadean lineup of '83 was that when the ships came down, and they came down all over the world on this 3-day period, they took a lot of their Pleiadians home, and they brought a lot of walk-ins to continue their work. And when I got back to the United States, I found out that in Hollywood area, that 9 or 10 major super celebrities had been hospitalized during those 3 days. I also noticed that the emergency rooms and the hospitals were full all over the country on those 3 days, everywhere. And I always took note of that. I said,
Well, it makes you wonder how many of them changed places.
That's right.
Because it's obviously saves time to not have to go through the birth and growth process.
And the reason for the walk-in procedures is because of the time element, being that simply, there was an agreement a long time ago that no matter what anyone was doing at that particular moment in time, that when the ships came to take them home, they would simply have to step out of the body and turn it over to another walk-in. And that was the agreement. So the November '83 Pleiadean lineup was planned at several different levels, because there was a whole group of people that, different age groups. It wasn't all just one age group. It was all ages for all different kinds of reasons. And we had a lot of great inventors come from the Pleiades at that time. And we had musicians and people that brought some great new thoughts for our planet on this Pleiadian lineup. And I have met some of them. It's been quite a journey.
So here we are 26 years later, coming up on November Pleiadian lineup, and I would say anyone who knows their astrological chart and knows that they have the Pleiadian star markings, it's a time to focus on why you came here. It's a time to ask for guidance, and it's also a time to rededicate yourself.
It's also a time to be a co-creator. If you want to participate in something that really feels like this is something you're part of, then it's time to be a co-creator in the creation.
Well, I think that's a very good way to end this conversation. It's time to co-create. So make the most of your Pleiadian lineup coming up starting November 16th this year. I think it starts at noon.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Lavandar, thank you so much for your time, and we will have another interview on another interesting subject coming up very soon.
Well, thank you so much. And this is the first time that I have actually recorded this for the radio or for any media. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do it with me today.
Thank you so much, Lavandar. This is Ariel from StarseedHotline.com. We will talk to you again soon.